Yay, good breakfast. Yeah, it does seem a little ridiculous. You guys know compost is best when it's not just your kitchen vegetable scraps. You need lots of different things in there.
Ultimately, it's what pure Michigan is all about. Purity isn't the feigned decadence we all think it is. It's being earnest about what you are and using that to forge onward to reach the point where the charm outweighs the heartache. I'm still here. Kind of. If you're new, I think the only things you really need to know is my name is Polly, and I helped raise all these cows and all these dogs, and I'm a believer that there is still light to be found somewhere around here. Some might call me a dreamer. Am I the only one? Sure looks like it right about now. There's never been any doubt in my mind that at the very least, for some reason, I am a moth drawn to the flame that my ancestors lit here. I don't belong anywhere outside of a farm or a forest. And this is just another day or two in my story that I don't know how to tell. It started long before I started filming it. And when I finally did, I didn't know which way it would go. Either it would get better and I would stay, or it would get worse and I would go. Every day for 12 years that I've lived here, I've been told a scary story about a boogeyman who has been stealing dairy cattle from other farms around here. And one day he'd come for us. I knew the boogeyman was real. I'd seen it steal farms all around me since I was a kid. But back then, I didn't know that the boogeymen could eat through a farm from the inside out, too. I've tried to say it before. I'll try to say it again. A house divided cannot stand. The boogeymen are everywhere, and I'll never escape them all entirely, no matter where I go, no matter what I do. They come from both the outside world system and economy, and also from the overall breakdown of my local society. Farmer Joe and his dad can't agree on how to operate the farm, who should be living here, or when to sell the cows. For the last few years, his dad has wanted an early retirement with his new friends he's been collecting. It's just a working partnership between Joe and I, but it was my home for 12 years. Now I can't help but feel like some roads you just shouldn't go down. The maps used to say here be dragons. Now they don't, but that don't mean the dragons aren't still there. And vampires. As the so-called beasts have been slowly disappearing, a human-like herd takes their place, and I don't fit in with it. A few days after filming this, Joe said he's going to keep the herd no matter what, as long as I can milk cows and feed calves on some mornings. He even came up with a deal to help me with my backup plan I've been working on in preparation from no more being a milkmaid. I'm considering it, but things can always change, so I don't like giving updates to you guys like that. No matter what, it's too late to call this home. I already retreated a step further into the northwoods, and I'm starting my new business, whether there are cows to milk or not. Today there's no one in the background doing stupid or useless things, ruining my nice episodes, but that's not always the case. And that's one of a few things that made me realize that if I don't want to film something, maybe I shouldn't be living around that thing. My show is going to go on, and I'm going to make a living being a hillbilly one way or another. It don't look like much yet today, but I'm going to show you 2 tiny victories at my new home in the Northwoods.
For breakfast?
I really like it there.
Good job.
I'm free, and if I fail, I got no one to blame but myself.
Yay, good breakfast. I got a lot I want to do today. I want to sit in the sun with you all day long, but I gotta keep moving. I love you. Yeah, it does seem a little ridiculous driving an hour a day just to work for a few hours, but I get paid good enough for it. And that's how much I love the cows. That's what I do to see the herds. And all 7 dogs that I helped raise along with that herd. And my mom and my brother and my nephew live just a few miles down the road. So it's nice after chores I can go see them for a minute. Excuse me. everybody else? I guess this is one of those episodes where I talk a little bit. I don't like to do that every time. But I never know what to say. I feel better after eating a couple sandwiches. Ow! This one's bent. It's okay. Anyway, the babies are napping. They're so cute. To be honest, I took a nap too. A little bit longer than I intended on. So now it's like 6:30. I got a couple hours of daylight. It's supposed to rain tonight. And I've got a pile of leaves and grass I raked from part of the yard that I want to cover. I don't want it to get wet. I want to use it as mulch in the garden. You figured out what this is, right? You've probably at least seen pictures of it on Google. Like, or that. I scavenged mine. They were free on the side of the road. There's more around the farm I'm gonna get. And I'll end up expanding this thing. Right now, dang it. I don't know how many feet long this was, but it's just kind of crazy how this partial roll of chicken wire happened to be exactly the length I needed for this extra long pallet. And yeah, the chicken wire helps it so your compost don't fall through the wider gaps in the pallets. It's kind of a big road. Nice out. Everyone wants to go to the lake, and I'm nearby a few different lakes. I need more chicken wire. It's in the house. I found this. It's big enough for the door. I don't know where the rest of it went. My dad probably moved it somewhere. I can figure that out tomorrow. I'm gonna have all day long tomorrow to play outside. It's supposed to rain tonight. I can feel it. And then it's gonna rain a little bit in the morning. So I gotta cover up my leaf pile. And I've got old chicken bedding, a bin of that in the garage. And I wanna put on this. Once I get the walls up, I don't wanna get it too tall. But I think I'm going to put that deer hair in there, as if the chicken poop won't have enough nitrogen. But I think with some other things I'm going to mix in there. You guys know compost is best when it's not just your kitchen vegetable scraps. You need lots of different things in there. And I'm going to rake this whole yard, not for the compost pile, for a separate pile. And that's going to go in my garden rows. It holds in moisture, it keeps the soil cool. Some things just do better with that on it. And there's a lot that can be raked up around the compost pile here. There's an old wood pile in the way. Eventually, I'm going to make a little trail behind us here that goes into those trees and make a little woodshed back there. But I don't know, I guess I'm just in the mood to rake. So I'm gonna get these pallets out of the way, put the deer hair in the pile, rake everything else up, take it over to the pile and get that covered. That's what I'm gonna do.
Used oil there for your starting fires if you want it.
Okay, sweet. I feel bad for all the things I said to my Michigan when it was winter. Like the tiniest of the tiny ones is starting to get some mud butt, you know, where their poop accumulates and dries on their butt and you gotta soak it off with some warm water. Dang it, she's so tiny. I don't want to handle her too much, but I should really take care of that. Should have had this done months ago. Should have been the first thing I did when I moved into this fort last fall. But I really haven't generated that big of a pile of kitchen scraps that I haven't really needed it until now. And now I have an accumulation of old chicken bedding I want to throw in there and other things to throw in there. And latch. I don't think I have one of those laying around. I have to go to the hardware store for that. I need a hinge. Maybe 2 hinges. I saw one laying around. Where? Huh? This is where I had just nailed this on, but then I discovered every single day that I film outside, it's either too windy to hold the camera, or it's raining, or it's snowing, or it's too hot, and the equipment starts shutting itself off. But I think it's sturdy enough to hold for now. So let's put some chicken poop in it. On the very bottom, there's a layer of kitchen scraps, like carrot and banana peels and eggshells. And then I raked that deer hair over it, which is mixed in with some of this grass and oak leaves. And I think what I want to do before I add this is probably more pine bedding than chicken coop, and this has been sitting for like a month in the garage, so I don't think it's going to be too hot, too much nitrogen, you know, to add right now into this. I think what I want to do is kind of shovel this out of here and stir it up a little bit, and then shovel it back in with layers of this in it. And then I've got some potted plants that died in the cellar, and adding a little bit of actual dirt will kind of help speed up the dirt making process of all this. And then we'll see, it might be full, but I've got plenty of other pallets in a few different locations. When I find time, I'll bring them over here and just keep adding to this, so making different little cubicles in a row for different stages of decomp. Compost station probably doesn't sound like a big deal, but every homestead needs one. This was a long overdue project, so kind of celebrating every little victory that I can around here. It's just, it feels good getting it done. I'm not a carpenter. I know a lot of you guys watching this are probably better at building things than I am. Some of you may be thinking, that poor girl, that poor drill, why doesn't she have a man? Is she gay? No, I'm not gay, not at all. I'm just picky. It's slim pickings around here. But if you thought you were on the Better Homes and Gardens channel, I'm sorry, this is more like surviving rural northern Michigan as the hillbilly that I am, with what I have and what I know. Well, of course, eventually I'd like to get this place looking like Better Homes and Gardens, something out of a magazine, not a Rob Zombie movie, but that would take years. This is year 1 of me starting my life over. After like 12 years of taking care of and being taken care of by the dairy farm. But it just turned into not a good long-term place for me, so this is where we're at now. That's what we want. Hey, little buddy. Hey, I knew you were still alive in there. Yay, welcome to your new home. Now get to work. Oh, hell yeah. They're all over the place. There's a little ball of them. There's a little ball of them. Come back soon, and we'll get one step closer to making this a homestead. How? Remember? You know how, I told you. Oh, I'm gonna make a living off this place. I'm gonna turn the whole yard into a yard den, and I'm gonna have to sell it at farm markets. But the big ones are in a town that's like an hour away. It's just one way to drive there. Hour there, hour back, but I think I can do it. 3 days a week, going there to sell my shit. And every day that you come back, we're gonna be one step closer to that.